Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We'll do a little recap of what we were doing. We are in first canto, status quo. In that we did last time 14th chapter. We have to do 15th chapter. 14th and a part of 15th just we started, but 14th was the main chapter what we did. But let's do a little bit of 13 also to get into the mood. 13th chapter name was Dhritarashtra Quits Home. So the 13th chapter, we'll just speak the essence. We discussed in full length 1 hour class. Essence was detachment. Dhritarashtra should leave the home. The essence was detachment. And we talked about the time, Kala, how Krishna comes in the form of Kala for atheists, and also inevitable time it is called. We cannot avoid. Then we discussed about the superiority of the spiritual knowledge over material attachments. Dhritarashtra had lot of material attachment, but Vidura came and explained him that spiritual knowledge is more important. With that knowledge you have to act. And then power of the devotees was also explained in a subtle way. When Vidura Vidura is considered as one of the Mahajans. Vidura, when he came, he was treated by Yudhishthira Maharaj in a very, very nice way. There is a verse which I'm not remembering now, but the line what I remember from that is Kurvanti, Kurvani, Kurvami, means holy people, like we call holy book, holy rivers, right? Holy people means highly elevated devotees of the Lord are called personified holy places. Like even the rivers come, even the rivers get purified by their presence, holy rivers. That much importance is there. They're called personified holy places. If you want to relate in our thing, I'm just remembering in our thing, you know Panduranga Leelas, right? Pundarika is the devotee of Panduranga, right? He was very casual guy. He was like Jarudu, Chorudu kind of thing. He was doing all kinds of nonsense in his life. He was marrying somebody and then not taking care of the wife and living with somebody else, and then he kicks out his parents, and then later he realizes his mistake. That story is there. Panduranga is the Lord in Maharashtra and Pundarika is the devotee. In that story, you should remember, because this is like very old story which all we can relate, South Indians. In that story, there is a Muni or Rishi called Kukuta Muni. That Kukuta Muni will be residing in a hut. So when this person was not yet anyway realized about the God, he is going mad in search of something, and then he finds this hut. He goes into the hut for water. When he goes into the hut, the Kukuta Muni is in his deep meditation. Then he blasphemes Kukuta Muni, saying very bad words to him. And there comes 3 ladies, beautiful ladies, 3 or 4 ladies will come. By looking at them, he again falls for lust. He starts misbehaving with those ladies. And those ladies were the Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, sacred rivers, personifications. And they come to their real form and they chastise Pundarika, saying that how lusty you are. In your lust you didn't even know how chaste your wife was. You abandoned your wife, you kicked out your parents, and you were living in a very illicit relationship with somebody like that. And then he gets his senses back and he says, oh, I made a big mistake by seeing at you with lusty desires. You are the one who clean all the sins. Can you please give me the mercy and clean? And then what do those Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati say is, yes, we are the one who clean the sins of everybody, but we are the one who get here to cleanse ourselves, because everybody cleans their all bad things in us, but by taking the association of the pure devotees who are always serving the Lord, we get purified. Not just the story gurtochinanamata. So whomever you have offended right now, the Kukuta Muni is none other than personified holy place, holy dham, holy river, everything. You just kicked him, you just disturbed him, you just blasphemed him, whatever bad behavior you did. He is the real person, and we are coming here to take his shelter. Every day we come here in the night or whenever, whatever time, when that snanam thing everybody is done, to get ourselves purified. So devotees are like at a very high stage than all those things we think as auspicious. We think like Ganga water is auspicious. Yes, of course it is auspicious. Devotees every day very carefully take Ganga water, sip. But the thing is, the one who is connected to Krishna is elevated. His compassion levels are like Vidura was like that. Vidura came here. He did not promise anybody that he would come back, or he did not do anything. Dhritarashtra as such did not do anything for Vidura, great things. But still he came back to take back his brother Dhritarashtra from this Lampatam. Shastakam verses. Yatha tatha vidathatu lampatau. Somehow I have been trapped in this lampatau. Lampatau means it's said in English as water. In the water there is a whirlpool which takes us in mana sudi antam kada dantlo padte baitik rale mani, something like that. So it's like lampatam. So he is trying to get Dhritarashtra out of it. That's the whole essence of 13th chapter. Dhritarashtra quits home. How he quits home, who comes to help him, how he explains to Dhritarashtra that what he was doing is nonsense, and he says, you are going to live on the charity of Bhima, you are a dog to stay there, you are an abandoned dog, all those things he says, and encourages Dhritarashtra, inspires Dhritarashtra to understand what is reality, and then takes Dhritarashtra with him. Now let's go with the chapter 14. What we did chapter 14 last time when we did on May 12th. That was like disappearance of Lord Krishna. Disappearance of Lord Krishna. Clearly in Srimad Bhagavatam it is not said how Lord is disappeared. That's a different story, the past time. I will share with you later. We went to that place also where Krishna left his body. But what is the pain after Krishna left the body with the for the devotees who are connected to him is being explained. The principal main here in this which is surrounding to this chapter is human prosperity, human morality, and so-called social harmony. Everything completely and entirely depends on our connection with the Supreme Lord. Not the mundane things, not the material things, not the material education, but the real education of who we are, who is the source of us, how we can get connected back to that source. That is the real knowledge. There is a metaphor given. If you remember last chapter when we were discussing, the metaphor was given about the sun, how the sun illuminates the darkness, how the sun gives the light and life to everything without any discrimination. Right? Sun is coming, sun doesn't see he's a good man, he's a bad man, let me shower my mercy only on good man. Like that, the Supreme Lord of Supreme Personality of the Godhead, the Supreme Lord, is very, very merciful. He is making this help. We will understand why I'm telling this. Is next chapter is filled with his mercy. He is mercifully arranging the things for the people who are dependent on him, who are seeking help from him, who are having complete faith in him that he is going to protect them for sure. How about the others, Mataji? Others are receiving, like how the sun is giving and others are also receiving, though they are not asking. There are a lot of people who do Surya worship. We don't do Surya worship, still we will get it, right? So like that. The onset of Kali Yuga, we have been seeing the onset of Kali Yuga, right? Onset of Kali Yuga, wherein with Krishna's departure, Yudhishthira Maharaj was seeing all bad omens, all inauspiciousness. Last time we discussed, like jackals were howling, dogs were walking, crossing. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, nobody was interested in anything which is called self or the spirit. Everybody was becoming bad. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was seeing all those bad omens. And he was worried. When we are disconnected from the divine, the whole humanity falls apart. The whole humanity becomes the prey for Arishad Vargas like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, everything. We become slaves of them. Even the relationship, let's say intimate relationships, also get polluted. But what is the solution? The solution explained mercifully by again who? Narada Muni. Narada Muni is the representative of Krishna. He comes and he explains that ultimate remedy for all this inauspiciousness is the apratihati ahaituki, unbroken and continuous service, concentrated, focused, unbroken service to Krishna. It's not like one day, it's not like 1 week, it's not like 1 month. Our consciousness should become Krishna conscious. Some people do say, oh, we won't eat today non-veg because today it is Thursday. How about Friday? How about Saturday? How about Monday? Oh, Friday is Venkateshwar. So Friday is Lakshmi Devi, Saturday is Venkateshwar. Sunday is especially exclusively meant for non-veg, because on that day, no, as if no God exists or anything. We did that. Everything what was moving almost to be eaten, we ate everything. But that's a different story. But knowledge is important, that why we are not eating, why we should not eat, what we are seeing. It's not only just becoming a vegetarian or vegan, but becoming spiritual is important, wherein you are able to see spirit, soul in everything. Spirit, soul in everything. Oh, as if we don't eat, whole world will not eat, or what? They will eat anyhow, right? Yeah, they will eat, but at least depending on the demand, the supply will become less. That many souls will be saved. Now let's go to the 14th chapter, which we just started. We just started with 14th chapter. Chapter 14, you can note it down, is Pandavas retire untimely. Oh, yeah, Pandavas retire untimely. Let me depart. No, Pandavas. Yeah, Pandavas. Let me check. That's what I remember. But yeah, chapter name. Sometimes. Where is the canto 1? Okay, chapter name is. Yeah, this is another wonderful chapter wherein we can feel the mercy. No, chapter 14 we discussed already. Disappearance of Lord Krishna. That's why it was not matching my mind. It was saying something different. 15 we are doing Pandavas retire timely. What I was saying untimely, that was not suiting my mind. Why would they retire untimely? They are so elevated. Why would they retire untimely? So that's the 15th chapter, which says Pandavas retire timely. Very important. Okay, I'm not getting something, but that's fine. Okay, Pandavas retire timely. Now who? We have to remember the hierarchy always. Even the Purushottam's whole class was, we have to remember the hierarchy, who is speaking to who. So here Suta Goswami said, Arjuna. Now this is whole about Pandavas and how Pandavas were receiving mercy from Krishna, and why were they receiving so much of mercy. The answer for the second question is simple. Why were they receiving? Because they were Krishna conscious. They were God conscious. They were conscious of Krishna's presence always. So obviously Krishna would be there. Whoever remembers Krishna wholeheartedly, for them he will be there. So Suta Goswami is saying, Arjuna, who is the celebrated friend of Krishna, there are 9 kinds of devotional service one can perform, and out of that the first one is Shravanam, which is hearing, and then Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, like that. In the same way, there are different rasas which we, or the bhavas or the mellows, which we relate to with Supreme Personality of the Godhead. There are 5 rasas explained. One is dasya, which is servitude. One is sakhya, which is friendship. One is vatsalya, which is parenthood. One is first one, let me put, first one is neutral, shanta rasa, neutral, like the trees, the stones, they also have consciousness, but they cannot express. That is neutral. And then comes dasya, servitude. Then comes the sakhya, friendship. Then comes the vatsalya, parenthood. And the last one is the madhurya. That's the intimate relationship with Krishna, as gopis have. So first one, neutral, there need not be example, because we are not going to learn anything from the neutral relationship with Krishna. We are not neutrals. Second thing is, there's a difference between humans and the non-living entities, right? We are having higher consciousness, so we won't go towards Shanta. But Dasya, who is the exemplary personality for Dasya, is the Hanuman. Best example. And coming to the point of Sakhya, that's why we are talking here about the Arjuna. Arjuna is in the friendship. And Vatsalya, it's Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. And Nanda Maharaj. Huh? Prahlad Maharaj is not Vatsalya. Vatsalya means parenthood, right? Prahlad Maharaj is exemplary for Smaranam, who is always remembering Krishna. But here it's Vatsalya. And then for the Dasyam Sakhyam, Dasyam Sakhyam, and then Vatsalya Bhava. And then Gopis are the example for the loving relationship with Krishna. So here Shuta Goswami is saying Arjuna, who is the celebrated means everybody knows that who is the best friend of Krishna, that's Arjuna. So celebrated friend of Krishna was grief stricken because of his strong feelings of separation from Krishna. Over and above all Maharaj Yudhishthir's speculative inquiries, he's asking. We discussed this last time, 6 or 7 verses if you remember. Arjuna is not able to say what happened. Yudhishthira Maharaj is nicely asking, but he is grief stricken totally. He knows what happened. Due to the grief, what was happening? All the features which happen when we are really overwhelmed with some emotion, like his mouth was drying up, his heart was drying up, his bodily luster was losing. With great difficulty, he checked his eyes of grief with the tears which were flowing, and says that Lord Krishna was out of the sight with lot of, he couldn't say anything basically. He was remembering Lord Krishna and his well-wishes and his benefactions, intimate familial relationship with him, his chariot in which they both were standing and doing this Mahabharat Yuddha, everything. Arjuna said, "O king, the supreme personality of the Godhead, who treated exactly as like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Does my astounding power, which is always astonished even by the demigods, is no longer there with me because he's gone. I have just lost him. Even for a moment I feel his separation will make me void. Now I cannot see him forever." Arjuna's explanation. All this time was Yudhishthira trying to put his point that how is Krishna. For whole big chapter was there, Yudhishthira Maharaj speaking about all other people and finally coming and asking how is Krishna there. Now Arjuna is trying to explain his relationship with Krishna. How did he take this and what happened? He is remembering everything. Only with the merciful strength of Krishna I was able to vanquish the all the wars wherever it has been there. I was able to Drupada's kingdom, many things.
Matsyantram,
Fixed target, Matsyayantra. That was all Krishna's mercy, or else I would not have gained the hand of Draupadi, because he was near me. For me it was easy to conquer great kings like Indra. He defeated Indra also, king of the heaven, Indradev. And many of the demigod associates, the fire of Khandava forest, everything whatever has happened which gets me the credit is only and only because of the mercy of Sri Krishna. Your respectable younger brother, means he's talking about Bhima now, your respectable younger brother, who possessed the strength of 10,000 elephants, with Krishna's grace only he was able to kill Jarasandha, or else Jarasandha was mystical, he wouldn't have ever got killed. But Krishna told to Bhima how he has to kill him. All the kings who were captured by Jarasandha were released only because of Krishna's mercy. He was the one who loosened the hair of our wife, right? He was the one who is the killer of the loosened hair of Draupadi. The reason for Draupadi why she loosened her hair is she takes a vow that unless who have insulted me or who have loosened my hair is killed, I'm not going to tie my hair. And Bhima also takes a strong vow, Kshatriya vow, that unless I put your hair with the blood of that particular bad person who has done this, or you say Dushasan, you need not tie your hair like that. Dushasan was evil, all because of the association of beautiful brother and beautiful uncle who were always greedy for the power. Everybody is indebted, including the last, just what we discussed about Uttara, her Parikshit Maharaj. She did not take the shelter of anybody else. By now she has got enough examples of who else can be the only protector. She knows that my uncles took the protection of, but anyhow he has released lot of brahmastras, and at that time all the Pandavas were busy also. If they were there also, she wouldn't have taken shelter, but they were also busy taking care of the other brahmastras. So total 6 or 5 something he sends. But anyhow, so here the dependency on Krishna, whole Pandavas family was completely dependent on Krishna. Kunti Maharani, she goes to the heights. We know what she prayed for. Let those calamities come upon me again and again, which makes you always stay with us, Krishna. Who will ask like that? Arjuna remembers during our exile, Durvasa Muni came, right, with his 10,000 pupils, disciples, and then what happened? Krishna just took a morsel of the grain and everybody was satisfied with their hunger, and they were saved from the anger of Durvasa Muni, which was pre-planned by evil Duryodhana. It was his influence that in a fight I was able to astonish the personality of the god Lord Shiva and his wife, the daughter of Mount Himalaya, Parvati Devi. There is a pastime. And then Lord Shiva became pleased and awarded me with a weapon, Pashupatastra. Everybody is giving me weapons because they are thinking that I am defeating them, but the power or energy to defeat them for me is coming from Lord Krishna, is coming from my dear friend Krishna. He knew it was Lord Krishna, but he always treated him as a cousin, as a friend, as a close, intimate personality. So in my life, whatever if I've done, when I stayed for some days as a guest in the heavenly planetary system, including King Indradev, took shelter of my arms, my strength. They were taking like, please help us, this disaster is coming, this disaster. That's why Arjuna is known as Parantapa, chastiser of the enemies. He can kill the enemies at any place, in any way. I am bereft of my soulmate. That's what he says. I am bereft of my part of myself, the Supreme Personality, by whose influence I am known to the world as powerful. He is the power in my powerful thing. He is the strength in my strongness. He is the intelligence in my wit. Whatever Krishna says in 10th chapter, what he is in the best of the best, Arjuna remembers, and he says that this is in reality, that he is the military strength of Kauravas was like an ocean. Pandavas had very less military power. If Krishna was not there, it was very difficult for them. It couldn't have happened, whatever the victory they got. Because of his friendship, he was seated on my chariot, and he was guiding me, menial service of a Shudra. I mean, Suta Putra we call Karna, right? He was doing the job of a Suta, chariot driver. When the arrow of Bhishmadev came to kill me, the most powerful arrow, my dear Krishna pushed the chariot with his leg, and the chariot went down into the ground, and the arrow passed instead of my head, top of my head. Who can do that? He saved me. This is only Arjuna speaking, but Arjuna has saved everybody in the Pandavas, because Arjuna has been asked, and Arjuna has witnessed just now Krishna leave, not witnessed, but came to know that Krishna left his body. And then he says that even the Jayadratha story, right? Jayadratha story about the clouds, or else Arjuna would have going to the fire according to his kshatriya vow. uh, he is the one who gives the life, he is the one who takes away the life, but now I am feeling he is not having the same relationship with me, because he has left me, who cannot live without him, uh, alone here. Like we will see in future, Akrura will come, how the gopis will say that Akrura, you are not Akrura, you are Krura, you have taken away our Krishna from us, like that they say. Kaurava's party was very, very, very well organized, because the one who organized was Bhishma Dev, the one who has done everything was Dronacharya, Kripacharya. They are very, very highly talented. Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishwara, Shurasena, all these people are not ordinary people. They could have defeated, though not only with energy, but with evil mindedness, but with mystical powers. But those all things Krishna only saved. Prahlad Maharaj was the supreme devotee of Narsingadev. He was unaffected by any kinds of weapons. We recently celebrated Narsinga Chaturdashi. Oh, Krishna. We get small problems, small issue, we take it so seriously, and we keep on dwelling on it without taking the shelter of Krishna. Whereas Prahlad Maharaj, he was always remembering, as you got the topic Prahlad Maharaj in the starting of the class, he was always remembering the Lord. He never asked the Lord, oh Lord, please protect me, because he knows that Krishna is there always to protect him. What he will say, oh Krishna, please save me from serpents, oh Krishna, please save me from hill fall, or please Krishna, save me from the boiling oil, please save me from the fire of Holika. What he will pray? He was always just remembering, oh Krishna, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's all. Arjuna says that it's not that my enemies could not have killed me, but it was just the presence of Krishna next to me which filled in their hearts with somehow the feeling that I am powerful, and they become powerless. Nato Krishna is there with me, that's the reason I am more powerful. That's how they were thinking and became powerless. Or else there could have been combat to me. His jokings, his pranks with me, his nice talks with me. Whenever he used to smile, I used to envy the gopis. Arjuna says, I used to feel envious about the gopis who enjoyed his Cupid-like smile. He addresses me as son of Pritha, oh friend, oh son of Kuru dynasty, and all such heartiness, heartful addressing was there. He reminded me that I am a Kshatriya always. He reminded me that I am his aunt's son always. He reminded me of my duty always. And at the same time, he was reminding me of my relationship with him. We used to sleep together. We used to live together. We used to do everything together. And at this time, I am like, some analogy is given, I am like a body without a soul or something like that. Seemingly the body is there, but there is no life in the body, like that. He always trusted me. He being the supreme soul, tolerated all the pain, not suffering, but the pain what we were having. He was every time feeling pain when we were in distress. Now I am separated from my friend and dear most well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Therefore, my heart has become completely void of everything. In his absence, I am being defeated by the number of cowherd men. I am defeated by everybody. Cowherd men do not have the skills to fight much. They are much into grazing the cows and all, right? But with them also now I'll get defeated because I became powerless. I forget about the great warriors whom I fought with. I have the same Gandiva bow. There is no difference. The same arrows are there. The same chariot is there. The same horses are there. I am not the same. I am not the same. All the kings used to offer their obeisances to me, but in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them become null and void for me. There is again comparison given. It is exactly like offering a clarified butter, ghee, on the ashes, accumulating money with a magic wand. See, if you pour ghee, what happens to the fire? It burns more, right? If you acquire something, can you exhaust the fire by putting the ghee? Not possible. And suppose something, money acquired with the magic wand, will it stay forever? He says Om Bhoom Fatak and he gets $1,000 for us and shows that here is $1,000. Will that stay? That's just magical. That's illusory money. Or if you go and sow the seeds on a barren land and say that I have put so much of my energy, strength and everything, is that of any use on the barren land sowing the seeds? So now whatever I do will be like that. You have asked me about our friends and relatives in the city of Dwarka. I will inform you that all of them were cursed by the Brahmanas, and as a result they become intoxicated. You know the story after Krishna leaves, right? What happens? Andaru, because that was the Gandhari's curse also, that whole Yadu dynasty should vanish. So, and as a result they all become intoxicated, and then with wine and rice, and they all fought among themselves with the sticks, not even recognizing they are their own people. Now all but 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone. Everybody is gone. So he is giving the information, because Yudhishthira Maharaj just not asked about Krishna but everything. How are they doing? What are the Dwarka Vasis they doing? Factually this is all because the supreme will of the Lord, personality of the Godhead. Sometimes people kill one another and other times they protect one another, but these things happen as long as they are connected to Krishna. When their connection with Krishna is lost, all inauspiciousness is only left. As in the ocean, whether it is bigger and stronger activities swallow up the smaller and the weaker ones. It ought to be done. So also the supreme personality of the Godhead, to lighten the burden of the mother earth, he engages the stronger yadus to kill the weaker yadus and bigger yadus to kill the smaller yadus. Now I am attracted to those instructions imparted to me by the personality of the Godhead, because they are given instructions for relieving the burning heart in all circumstances and time and places. Sutta Goswami says to Naimisharanya Rishis that Arjuna is remembering all the instructions what he got from Krishna from childhood onwards, because now they are like nectar for me. Because he is not no more there. When Vapu is not there, we will depend on the Vani. Thus being deeply absorbed in the instruction of the Supreme Lord, which were given with great intimacy and friendship by Krishna to Arjuna, and thinking about the lotus feet of Arjuna, Arjuna's mind became pacified and free of all material contamination. He was crying. But what is the ultimate solution? His solution is taking the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet. Arjuna's constant remembrance of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord increased every moment after Krishna left the body. Krishna stopped his pastimes. But that shelter helped Arjuna to come out of his grief. Because of Lord's pastimes and activities, because of his absence, it appears Arjuna that he forgot the instructions left by personality of the Godhead, but he did not actually forget. But factually this was not the case. Instead he again gained strength in that separation from the instructions. Suppose if we are following something and suddenly something happens which we were not expecting, we think that because of following this new thing, this thing happened. What thing happened, because of whose mercy, we don't know. What is good fortune, we don't know. What is ill fortune, we don't know. We keep on guessing the things, but we don't know what is the case. My in-laws went to India to see someone who is almost in the last stages, right? Yesterday night he left the body. He was struggling since almost 1 month. Doctor said 6 weeks back that there is no way we can protect him, and they stopped the medicines, they stopped the food also, because that he was not able to take the food. He was mostly on IV, and everybody was waiting, not waiting for him to die, or waiting like what would next happen, and he dragged it, and then Sunday was the Purushottam Mass started, and he left the body on Monday, yesterday afternoon. So we don't know what and he is not he's not a devotee, but he used to be a good person, and he has got the fortune of his elder brother's son, Nitya Gauranga Prabhu, who is our Patra Dakshak Guru. This Prabhu, who is the nephew of him, వాళ్ళ బాబాయ్ అన్నమాట. ఆయన అట్నుంచి బాబాయ్ ఇట్నుంచి బాబాయ్, తల్లి వాళ్ళ మరిది ఆయన్నే, పిన్ని వాళ్ళ భర్త ఆయన్నే, అలాగా అన్నమాట. ఇద్దరిని ఒక ఇంటికి ఇచ్చారు. సో దట్ నిత్య గౌరంగ ప్రభు, he is in Florida, but somehow Krishna's arrangement 3 months back he lost his job, and he has heard about this cancer situation of his uncle, and he decided to go, because they were all like a joint family. Iddaru annadamulu kalise pelli cheskunnaru, andaru kalise unnaru, and all those things. So he's like fatherly figure to him. So what are the chances that he loses the job here just 2 months before, and he spends the whole 2 months with him, sitting next to him, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, putting the Narsingarti, putting Prabhupada's Dhun machine? What are the chances? And he did that, and in midst of this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the Dhun machine of Prabhupada going on chanting, the person left his body. We never know whether he would get entangled in this birth and death cycle again. If his consciousness is on the family, if his consciousness is on the people who are visiting him, because he was conscious till he left the body. It was not like he was like 2 days not conscious or completely unconscious or in coma or anything, but he was seeing people. He was doing everything with the sign language, because he didn't have energy to speak, but he was seeing, he was feeling, he was seeing people on the video conference from different parts of the world, trying to see him before he leaves body. Everything was on. So obviously when Nitya Gauranga Prabhu was reciting these chanting and the mantras, he would have listened. That's what is the hope. So what should be? Janma karma chame divyam yo evam yo vetti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, Krishna assures that the person who always thinks about me, and at the time he is leaving the body remembers me and my transcendental pastimes, he will not have another birth again. We have to understand this very seriously, and for that it won't become in a moment. For Arjuna it was not a moment's realization. For Arjuna it's a lifetime realization. If we pray to Krishna every day, then we will remember Krishna at the time of the death. If we pray to all other things other than Krishna every day, and suddenly Krishna won't be Krishna is merciful, but you won't be able to accept Krishna so suddenly and remember Krishna at the time of death. Though how much ever knowledge you have, knowledge is not the key. Okay, I'm going to die. Krishna said that I have to remember Krishna at the time of death. This is knowledge. And you put the Dhun machine. Okay, doctors, you can do whatever you want to do with me. I'm going to leave the body. It's not that mechanical. The mind has already impressions, strong impressions of hate and desire, whom we like, whom we don't like, what we don't like, who are close to us, who are far to us, whom we are attached to, whom we are inimical. Everything. Mind is a powerful storehouse. You can't suddenly remember Krishna. No, not possible. Life is a preparation for the examination of death. So whole life, if we prepare, then only we can attempt the exam, and then we can pass in the exam. It's not that we will not have death, but we will not have the fear of death, because we know that we are serving Krishna before the death also. So Krishna will avashya for sure take care of us. Kunti Maharani, now the condition of Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani, after overhearing Arjuna's telling of the end of Yadu dynasty and disappearance of Lord Krishna, who engaged in the devotional service of transcendental personality of the Godhead with full attention. The Kunti Maharani stage is like now Gandhari, same stage as Gandhari, right? Gandhari left with Yudhishthira, with Dhritarashtra. She also has to leave now, Kunti Maharani. Everybody the same principle, right? No attachments, no family, no sons. No, after the age you have to be detached. But ladies alone cannot go, so they stay with the sons forever. But if husband and wife both are in the vanaprastha stage, they should leave everything. And she focuses from wherever she is. She focuses on the she internalizes her bhakti all through the time when she was dealing with everybody as a small children. She knew that Krishna was a supreme but not ordinary personality. As an aunt also she knows, as a devotee also she knows. Arjuna says, the supreme unborn Lord Krishna causes the members of the Yadu dynasty to relinquish their bodies, and thus he relieved the burden of the earth. This action was like picking out a thorn with a thorn. Though both of the same time, both are the same to the controller. You're trying to kill Yadus with the Yadus. It's like that. Nobody else can kill them. That was the kind of illusion that was created, that he's bad, and both bad, trying to kill each other. An analogy is given, just like a magician, he relinquishes one body to accept different ones, like the fish incarnations and other incarnations. Krishna relishes to take these different forms for the convenience of devotees. For the convenience means, I'm not saying for whom he came to protect, but for whom one who has given the boons. Brahma gave the boons, Lord Shiva gave the boons in the Mohini Avatara story, in the Hiranyakashipu story. These all people are given by powers by whom? Brahma, Lord Shiva and everybody, and Krishna has to take care of their boons, right? For those things Krishna has to come in that way as Narsingadev, who comes as a half man half lion form to kill. If Krishna wants, he can just come and kill Hiranyakashipu at any time, at any way, but he wanted to respect the boon given by Brahma and everybody. When Krishna left this earthly planetary system in the same form, no other form he got, he was in a two-legged form, Pitambar, Vanamala, Mukuta, flute and everything. From that day, Kali, who had already partially appeared, became fully manifested. That is the time when Kali Yuga entered. Dwapar Yuga ended and Kali Yuga entered, to create all the inauspicious condition for those who are endowed with pure fund of knowledge. Everybody is not knowledgeable, right? Everybody doesn't know the concept of soul. Everybody is not inquisitive to know about Srimad Bhagavatam. Everybody is not inquisitive to know about the relationship of the devotees and the supreme personality of the Godhead. So Kali Yuga came. Maharaj Yudhishthira Maharaj was very, very intelligent. He was good enough to understand the influence of age of Kali. There was falsehood, there was cheating propensity, there was illicit sex, there was violence, there was lot of things which are not normal for a normal soul, especially in the kingdom of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So he wisely prepared himself also to leave the home. That's what one has to do. He can't just correct whole world saying that become Krishna consciousness. Thereafter, the capital of Hastinapur has enthroned the grandson who was trained equally and qualified and emperor like the master of the land bordered by the seas. He was Parikshit Maharaj. So Yudhishthira Maharaj took break after Krishna left the body, and Parikshit Maharaj became the king from prince after Krishna left the body. Then he posted another personality, Vajranabha, who is the grandson of Krishna. Son of Krishna is Aniruddha, and Aniruddha's son is Vajranabha, so he becomes the grandson of Krishna at Mathura. At Mathura, the one who was really ruling, Yudhishthira Maharaj put at Mathura. Here he put Parikshit, there he put the Vajranabha as the king of Mathura. Afterwards, Maharaj Yudhishthira performed before he also leaving everything, he performed a Prajapatya sacrifice. Prajapatyam antam manam. Prajapatyam, like In politics there is I don't know much politics, but one which is ruled by the people, one which is ruled by the rulers. So people, prajapatyam, that's a kind of sacrifice he made in order to quit his position of being a king and taking care of the subjects. Maharaj Yudhishthira at once take off his garments, belt, ornaments, royal order, and became completely disinterested and attached and unattached to everything. Krishna leaving the body, that's it. They all lost their life. Where is the point of enjoyment? He said, no, I'm retired now. I should not and I cannot. So you are the one who is going to take up this ruling business. Then he amalgamated all the sense organs into the mind. This is the yoga vidya. His nose, we want to smell something other than Krishna's incense. If his ears is not listening only Krishna Katha, if his mouth is not doing only Krishna Katha, but sometimes engaged. The engagement is nothing else. If sometimes the mouth is engaged in drinking water also, for Yudhishthira Maharaj, that is a wasting of time. Not special engagement that they are going to the bar or a club or drinking or eating something nonsense, but it is like even breathing process also. He controlled. He got all the sense organs to something called mind. It can be possible. Anima, Mahima, Garima, in one of those things, it is mentioned that control over the mind, control over the bodily senses, everything is taken into the mind. He amalgamated all the sense organs into the mind, then the mind into life, and the life into breathing, his total existence into the embodiment of 5 elements, Bhumi, Rappo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha. Krishna says, these are my 8 separated energies. Bhumi, Rappo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha. It's like these are my separated Bhinnar Prakriti Ashtada. These are my separated energies. So now he is ready to leave the body. His total existence is embodied of the 5 elements and his body into the death. Then as a pure self, first he didn't die directly because he knew that there can be some issue. So he has got all his senses into the mind, and the mind is already trained with the mercy of Krishna, with Krishna consciousness as a Paramatma from inside of Yudhishthira Maharaj's heart. Everything was revealing to him. Then he became free from all material conceptions of life. Thus annihilating the gross body of 5 elements into the 3 modes of material nature, he merged them in one nescience and then absorbed that nescience into self, Brahman. Now this is all technical terms, we won't understand, we can't imagine, but all the things which needed a separate identity other than Krishna for their existence inside their body also, they surrendered to Krishna. After that, Yudhishthira Maharaj nicely dressed up himself with a torn clothing. Detachment, same thing what everybody did. Gave up all his eating all the solid foods, voluntarily become dumb. He did not speak. Rishabdev never spoke. Bharat Maharaj never spoke. He was Rishabdev didn't speak. Later the king tries to make him talk, and when he talks, the king says, you are not an ordinary person. Rishabhadev's son Bharat Maharaj does that. Yeah, he gets attached to the deer, and then he gets a deer body. From the deer body again he gets a human body. He did not depend on his brothers for anything, and just like a deaf man, he heard nothing. Means he was already with Krishna. So what is Draupadi saying, what is Kunti Maharani, his mother, saying, what is somebody else saying, he did not care. He then took the same path as what Vidura took, his uncle and aunt. He then started towards the north, trending treading the path accepted by his forefathers and great men, to devote himself completely to the thought of Supreme Personality God. The only reason why people want to be secluded is, unless we are secluded, we are always surrounded by people. Our thought consciousness is not fixed. I mean, we are not in that elevated position. It's not like we cannot surrender. We can surrender, but only the thing is, to surrender, whatever is the process to be done, that we have to adherently and consistently maintain that. Consistently. If we don't maintain, every nook and corner, Maya Devi is calling us. Oh, come here, Shweta Mataji, come here, Srimati Mataji. Every corner it is waiting. All the younger brothers of Yudhishthir Maharaj observed the age of Kali and have already arrived toward the world, and that the citizens of the kingdom were already affected by the religious practices. Therefore they decided, what will they do? What will they do? They can't stay and rule without Krishna. First Yudhishthir Maharaj goes, oh, sorry Krishna. All the brothers also follow the same path, renunciation path. They all performed the principles of religion. As a result, rightly decided to go towards the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Therefore they meditated on Krishna's lotus feet without any interruption, and then went to serve him. Thus, here the point to be understood is, thus by pure consciousness, due to the constant devotional remembrance, they attained the spiritual sky. Everybody was remembering Krishna, not only when the time they were leaving the body, but in regular also. For anything they would remember only a person, that was Krishna. This abode known as the Goloka Vrindavan cannot be attained by any persons who are absorbed in material conception of life. If we have the material conception of the life, forget it, devotees, forget it, Mataji, that we can go above the heavenly planetary system. It's not possible. But the Pandavas washed off all the material contamination, right, attained by that abode. In their ways, being in the same bodies itself, they have cleaned up themselves, Pandavas, by remembering Krishna, by feeling gratitude for Krishna of what they have done. It's nice. Vidura, while he was going on pilgrimage, left his body at Prabhasa Kshetra. We heard about Dhritarashtra and Dhritarashtra's wife living in the fire, right? And Vidura left his body in Prabhasa because he was absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. There he received he went back to the Pitruloka planetary system, where he returned to his original position. Vidura is not an ordinary person. Vidura is Yama Dharmaraj's incarnation or expansion. Draupadi also saw that all her husbands, without caring for her, were leaving home. What did I do that you are leaving me? I was there always with you. She knew well about Lord Vasudeva Krishna, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna and attained the same results as that of their husbands. It's just thought, Mataji. It's just feeling that Khatwanga, King Khatwanga, he's the one who left his body in a single moment. Ghadiya, something like that. In a single moment he left his body. Just by absorbing ourselves in Krishna consciousness, just by thinking about Krishna consciousness. How are his lotus feet? How soft are the lotus feet? How beautiful are his feet? How beautiful is the place of ankle, wherein the anklet dangles always. How beautiful are those strong thighs? How beautiful is that thin waist? Amazing. This is getting in absorption into Krishna. We are not describing the mundane dolls. We are describing the Krishna whose life air is been installed in the deities. Choosing the lordships for worship, Archa Vigraha, is very, very difficult. Very difficult. How he should be to choose is very difficult. for a devotee, because any vigraha he sees Krishna only there. Oh, this nose is not proper, also I'll go for another one. This waist is not proper, I'll go for another one. No, he will just get immersed in whatever the form Krishna is there. But Krishna is very merciful. He shows to his devotees himself as Rama. He shows to his devotees himself as different forms. Hanuman never wished to be in Goloka Vrindavan. He was always into the Rama mode. So there is an Ayodhya in the spiritual sky. So he'll definitely go there to Ayodhya to always. He's there always to serve Rama. He's Chiranjeevi though, but his presence there is there always. Therefore, anyone, this is like subject of departure of the sons of Pandu for the ultimate goal of life, back to Godhead, following the departure of Lord Krishna is very amazing. It's like, how can a body exist without the soul? It will be like that if they be there in their positions also. Therefore, anyone who hears this narration with the devotional faith, like you, like me, certainly will gain the devotional service to the Lordship, the highest perfection of the life. This is the Falashruti of this chapter mentioned. Falashruti is not given in every chapter, but mercifully Krishna speaks on the Falashruti in certain chapters, and this is one of that chapter which we are very, very fortunate to read, understand, and assimilate the meaning into our Krishna conscious life. We covered a lot actually in this chapter. 15th chapter. Pandavas retire timely. That's the chapter name. Pandavas retire timely. Very nice. Okay, Mataji. We will end the class here.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Next week we will